Can you have it all? Can you have health, wealth, relationships, all of those things, or do you have to sacrifice one to get the other? A lot of people say, John, hey, well, you can't give advice about all this stuff. You can't know about all these things. You can't claim that you're an expert in all of these things. And yes, I can. Why? Because I assume that 90% of the time when I walk into the room, I'm going to be the best at everything. At everything. That sounds really conceited or arrogant. Well, I don't care, because that's the way that I choose to live my life. See, all these other people, right? The fact that you might say, oh, that's arrogant, that just shows the limited thinking that most people have. They feel like someone who is so ambitious that wants to have it all, that they can't possibly, that there has to be some kind of trade-off. And the reason why is because they want to justify why they're not exceeding. A lot of people comment on my physique a lot of times, and they say, oh, you must be on steroids. There's no way you could be running 50 miles a week and doing Muay Thai and lifting weights and eating one meal a day and have that physique, plus running a business and doing all this stuff. You must be cheating in some way. Assume that you can have it all. You should have the mindset that when you walk in the room, you're gonna be the best looking, best dressed, best physique, make the most money, most successful person in that room. That you can, and you're gonna beat everyone at everything. Obviously, that's not always gonna be true. Obviously, I walk into rooms and there's people that make more money than me, that are better dressed than me, that have better physiques than me, but it's rare. It's rare. Most of the time, most of the rooms I walk into, I'm by far the best man there. Why do I say that? Because that's what I aspire to be. Because I believe that that's possible, and I will work to make that the reality. There's always going to be someone richer than you. There's always going to be someone who has more muscles or better physique than you, in better shape than you. There's always going to be someone who can run faster than you, that's more charismatic than you, okay? That's more successful, that's written more books. Whatever it is, they're going to have that. But it doesn't mean that you cannot try to have it all as much as possible in life. Let's talk about the pragmatic side of this, okay? Because even though I'm telling you all this shit, it doesn't mean that you can just automatically have it all and that focus and devoting your life to one thing doesn't matter. Let's take Michael Phelps, for instance. He basically has devoted his life for some time to just swimming. So he's able to reach the highest level better than anyone on the planet, because every morning, all he does pretty much 7 days a week is swim. That is his life. He's put it all into there, and that has benefited him greatly in that area. Be obsessed about things for periods of time. If you take a look at my life, what you will see is you will see me doing a lot of shit. You'll see me doing a lot of crazy stuff, physical things, and work, and doing all this stuff at once, and you'll think, how the f does John do all that? How could he possibly become really good at all of these things? And the answer is that I've added these things on little by little. And also, to some degree, I'm in a maintenance mode. If I'm really growing, I'm focusing on one thing. And usually I do have one thing in my life that I am trying to grow at, and I'll spend some extra time focusing on. For example, when I was training for the marathon, and that was like, I wanted to hit an under 4-hour marathon time, I spent a lot of time, a lot of energy focused on that. When I became really good at doing video and explaining things and teaching things and made a lot of money, like really successful, one of the most successful things I did was when I was focused so much on creating Pluralsight courses for Pluralsight, and I spent a whole year doing nothing but create Pluralsight courses, basically. I mean, I had a few other things, but that was my focus. And I became really good at it, to the point that I could create a course, an entire course, in a week for a given amount of time. Yes, there is a trade-off. There is a benefit to focusing. So when you need to really ramp up a skill or ramp up some aspect of your life, focus. Drop as many things as possible, simplify your life as possible, and put a deep focus. Become obsessed about things for some period of time. It's going to benefit you. And if you really want to reach the highest levels of something, of sports, of music, of art, of whatever it is, you may have to devote your entire life to it. That's a choice that you can make. If I wanted to really become like an Olympic level marathon runner, yeah, it would make sense for me to drop everything else and to just focus on that. But I don't need to be. In order to be the best person in the room, the best guy in the room, you don't have to be very high. The bar is not very high, guys. It's not high, because most people won't even try. A lot of people say, John, hey, well, you can't give advice about all this stuff. You can't know about all these things. You can't claim that you're an expert in all of these things. And yes, I can. Why? Because they're all interrelated. A lot of the work that you do in becoming an expert has to do with mindset. okay? When you develop mental toughness and you develop the ability to work without motivation and to become a finisher, and you learn how to learn quickly, and you develop some of these basic skills, other things become easier in life. It's easier for you. If you become an expert at one thing, you are more likely, and it's easier to become an expert at another thing. But you gotta go deep first, and then you can go wide, and then it'll be easier to go deep in multiple things.
And I'll say this, the last thing I'll say is that you can have everything, you just can't have it all at once.
Can't have it all at once.
Thanks for staying until the end of the video. I've got a bonus for you. Okay, the path to having it all isn't very easy, but you can get there 3 times faster by getting rid of this one limiting belief. Check this out. It's a limiting belief that I see holding back so many ambitious guys. Don't let that be you. Talk soon.